Bill Gates is buying up all of the arable land. So you might ask yourself, why would a computer scientist be so interested in agriculture at such a late stage in his life? Because he figures, since so many of us as African people are well aware of the scam that COVID was, nothing more than a global African depopulation agenda, that we wouldn't take the shot and we wouldn't eat certain things. So Bill Gates said, well, since black people want to eat healthy, we're just going to put the disease in the crops. And so now more than ever, brothers and sisters, you got to watch what you eat. In fact, Bill Gates's crops have already been outlawed in several countries around the planet. They won't even allow it to be imported in. So if you think there's nothing wrong with Bill Gates's food, why are there countries around the world that won't even allow it to be imported?
We have seen many times black people talking about the kind of challenges that they have gone through in the United States. And one thing that we know that can't be detested is the fact that the system within the United States was created to discriminate against black people. This is given because look at the kind of opportunities that whites have compared to their black counterparts. It is incomparable because whites are always having everything going easy for them. They can get access to good health care. They can get access to good employment. They have good education. This is something that blacks don't have. But sometimes you find that blacks come together and join in with whites to really champion for some things that are always universal for them. Blacks always come with good heart, without any treachery, but then whites, sometimes when you look at how they come in engagements with the black people, they are always hiding something behind the table. In today's video, we want to focus on a clip here by Dr. Umar Johnson. He was speaking about how blacks have been scammed for years by the white majority in America. I want you to watch this clip, then come back and share our thoughts in the end. Let's watch.
BlackRock, absolutely. They're buying up all the available real estate in America, and they're not reselling it. They're converting it all to rental property. They want to make sure we own nothing. And while BlackRock is buying up all the real estate, Bill Gates is buying up all of the arable land. So you might ask yourself, why would a computer scientist be so interested in agriculture at such a late stage in his life? Because he figures, since so many of us as African people are well aware of the scam that COVID was, nothing more than a global African depopulation agenda, that we wouldn't take the shot and we wouldn't eat certain things. So Bill Gates said, well, since black people want to eat healthy, we're just going to put the disease in the crops. And so now more than ever, brothers and sisters, you got to watch what you eat. In fact, Bill Gates's crops have already been outlawed in several countries around the planet. They won't even allow it to be imported in. So if you think there's nothing wrong with Bill Gates's food, why are there countries around the world that won't even allow it to be imported in? So we got to grow our own food, and we have to stop selling the real estate that we do own. I don't know why black folks is selling homes you done already paid off. It took you 30 and 40 years to sell off, to buy off grandma's house, pay off the mortgage. And now you let these white folks come and manipulate you into selling a house that took your ancestors 50 years to pay off. And then with the money that you get from the so-called developer, you're going to end up with a new mortgage, because no matter what they give you, it's not going to be enough to cover the cost of the new houses. And then I read that here in Sacramento, in the Black Oak Park section, they're gentrifying it. They said that black residency in Black Oak Park, Sacramento, was down 25%. And the culprit appears to be the University of California, Davis, is it? They have an Aggie Square project or something they're working on. Well, my question would be, why did we let them get started with it in the first place? For those of you who don't know, the biggest gentrifiers in the black community are not the white developers. It's the colleges and universities. In fact, if you do not know this, the number one job of the university is not education, it is real estate. And not only the universities are some of the top gentrifiers in America, the fast food restaurants are some of the top gentrifiers in America. Did you know that McDonald's makes more money off real estate than hamburgers and fries? Yes, the hamburgers and fries is just a front. And it's the same thing with the universities. And why do they do the gentrification through the universities? Because if the university comes into the black community with a program disguised as help, we're not going to push back. Because who has a problem with the program for the homeless? Who has a problem with the program for the ex-offenders? Who has a problem with the program for the teenage mothers? Who has a problem with an entrepreneurial incubator program? So what they do all over America, it ain't just the University of California. It's the University of Pennsylvania, University of Michigan, University of Seattle, all of them. They come in disguised as help. And we buy into it because whatever it is they're pitching looks like it can benefit our community. And without us even paying attention to what they're really up to, they start buying over this house and buying up this block. They expand the project. But you don't say anything because this is for poor people. This is for homeless people. This is for our elderly. This is for our mentally ill population. Since it looks like they're helping us, we don't even recognize the takeover. And then when they own enough of the black community, they shut all the scam projects down and just come on out with the agenda that it was from the beginning. They did it to us in North Philadelphia. Temple University had a PASEP program, Pan-African Studies Community Education Program in North Philadelphia, my neighborhood, born, raised, still live there. And nobody would check Temple University for how they were buying up North Philly because they gave us this Pan-African Studies program. So Temple gave us the Pan-African Studies program to distract from the fact they was kicking us out of our neighborhoods. And once Temple University had gotten all they wanted, they shut the Pan-African Studies program down. In fact, let me give you a piece of ironic truth. Do your research on all the white universities of America who offer a PhD in African or Africana studies. And you will see that most of the white universities that offer PhDs in African and Africana studies are some of the biggest gentrifiers of the black community. And the reason they offer the PhD in black studies is to distract you from the fact that they're only in your community to rob the real estate. Hoodwink, bamboozled, led astray, and run them up. And be careful of the charter schools, because they are also the gentrifiers. Why don't you find that many charter schools in white suburbs? Why are the charter schools overrepresented in the black community and in the ghettos of America? Why we don't see as many charter schools out in the suburbs? Because charter schools are a weapon of gentrification. I know this well because Philadelphia has more charter schools than any city in America, and Philadelphia is also the #1 gentrification city in America. Gentrification follows the charter school, and I'm explaining to you how this works. Let's say this is a community. All of us is a community. We live together. Every person represents a house in the neighborhood. White folks want to get us out. Can't just come in and kick the door down. We got UC California, University of California doing what they can do to take over the real estate. But you know what we're going to do? In addition to help them out, we're going to open up a charter school. But we're going to get somebody black to be the face of it, because Negroes don't do no research. They'll research if Diddy did it, but they're not going to research who's really behind the charter school. So they'll go and get Pastor Lemonade to front the charter school, right? And so you send all your children to this charter school. You think it's black. They call it the Malcolm X Academy. You think it's black, right? And then you notice when your child goes to the school, most of the teachers are Caucasian. Staff is Caucasian. Administration is Caucasian. But you don't say nothing because it's better than the public school they were in. And then you start noticing that the white folks who work in the school buying up all the abandoned properties, buying up all the lots, buying up all the buildings, turning the closed schools down into condos. And before you know it, 10 years later, the property value is so high that you can't afford to live there no more. And so what was once called the Malcolm X Academy is now the Adolf Hitler Academy for gentrification. Whenever you want to get rid of black folks, you got to shut down the schools that educate their children. And the best school to start is a charter school, because you do not have to be loyal to the residence where it exists. This is how they're getting rid of black folks all over America. Look at the cities with the highest amount of charter schools. They got the highest amount of black gentrification. And by the way, this decision to gentrify the black community was made in the year 2000 with the presidency of George W. Bush. So this was decided upon 24 years ago. This has been going on for a quarter century, and they almost done. And then they said, to deliver the knockout blow, after the universities scam as much black real estate from the community, and after the charter schools scam as much black real estate from the community, we're going to go to South America and get some anti-African Spanish-speaking migrants. And we want to fly them right into the black communities to finish off the gentrification. Because after all, we know black people have been brainwashed by religion to never stand up for themselves. They got to speak for everybody. So since black people love speaking for everybody, we're going to start bringing everybody into their community to finish off the gentrification project. Look at Chicago. I was just there. How do you let Governor DeSantis fly a plane full of fly a plane full of migrants from Florida to Chicago? And the governor of Texas to do the same. And y'all don't think there's not a federal mandate to do this? You just gonna airlift thousands of people from a southern state, bypass all these half-empty white states on the way, and drop these people off in the two most crowded cities in the country, Chicago and New York, which happen to be our two blackest metropolises. That's why they're there, to destroy black power. See, when Joe Biden was running for president, and y'all didn't pay attention, because y'all love picking cotton on the Democratic Party plantation. Negroes love a plantation. You can't wait to get to a plantation. Joe Biden came into office and said, I want to fast track 11 million immigrants to full citizenship. Black folks ignored it, but I didn't. I went right to it. I said, y'all know what this means, right? Biden knows he's not going to do nothing for black people, because he was Obama's vice president, and he saw black people didn't make Obama do nothing for them. So if the Negro don't have to serve you, I damn sure don't. So since he knew he wasn't going to do anything for you, he said, when my re-election comes around, in order for the Democratic Party to hold on to the White House, we're going to need somebody to substitute for these blacks, because they're not coming out again. So the migrants are here to replace the Democratic Party dependence on the Negro voter. Oh, yes. In Chicago, the migrants can vote even though they're not citizens of the country. In Chicago, the migrants can be police even though they don't even know the law. This is a purge. They're getting all the food stamps. They're getting all the health, all the homes. There's schools that were shut down in New York and Chicago, and the city said, we can't afford to operate these schools for black children. But when the migrants showed up, they opened the schools back up, renovated the schools. And now the migrants got their own schools with apartments upstairs. On your tax dollar, ain't worked a day, ain't paid a penny. See, America feels strongly she could get rid of the last of us. Because, I mean, let's just be honest. We haven't done anything serious as a race since Dr. King's assassination. You've been partying and social networking. And see, what the black man fails to realize is you're being fetishized by these Caucasian women. And you are glorifying in your objectification. And the reason she's with you is she don't control the white male. He's in charge. But she can control you. And if you think you're too big and bad, and you get too big for your britches, she'll pull a Jonathan Majors on your ass. There's a video of Jonathan Majors running down the damn street. And he still gets convicted. And they even admitted that she attacked him, but they didn't have enough evidence to prosecute her. And then his lawyer said he got convicted not for attacking her, but in defending himself from her attack, he was a little too aggressive. Is it worth it? You think you dating a white girl, but she really just leasing your ass. It's a lease. It's a long-term rental. That's it. And when she get tired, she just cash your ass on in. It ain't about being against nobody. It's about being for yourself. Only 1 out of every 4 black women get married. Do we care about the future of our race? Because I'm getting sick and tired of hearing weak-ass black men say things like, this is my preference. You didn't have no damn preferences on the plantation. Before they outlawed or made legal bunny hopping in '67, you did a good job staying away from white girls. Why you can't stay away from them now? Because your low self-esteem dictates that you get some validation from your oppressor's daughter. That's right. And if you think the white woman is better than the black woman, you're already admitting you feel inferior to the white male. What's wrong with black on black love? Take all your money, leave you broke. Look at Tiger Woods. That white girl took $1 billion of his money. She was a house servant. She's a billionaire now. Kobe Bryant passed on, left Vanessa almost $1 billion, and she goes and does a basketball partnership with 3 PWIs, not a single HBCU. And ain't mad at me because I called her out on it. Taking all this wealth from our race and giving it to the people who already stole enough. How can that make sense? And then I got to deal with the little black princesses in the school saying, Dr. Umar, what's wrong with me? What do you mean? I'm noticing all the successful black men, they all running after something that ain't black. And you're not off the hook if you brown bunny hunting or yellow bunny hunting or red bunny hunting. A bunny is a damn bunny. If it ain't black, you shouldn't be with it. Quote me for that. Call me the anti-multiculturalist. No damn multiculturalism. What you getting? What are black people getting in Sacramento for all your multiculturalizing? The city 30% white, 30% Hispanic, 19% Asian, 12.5% black. And you ain't getting nothing out of the deal at all. Holding hands with non-white people as if they care about you any more than the Caucasians. What games you playing? Don't nobody come to America to stand with black folks. They come to America to stand on black folks. The racist is only interested in 3 things. And hate ain't one of them. They're interested in domination of resources, domination of privileges, and domination of opportunity. It is not a Caucasian in the state of California who is not interested in maintaining the unfair, imbalanced power differential between us and them. You think because you sleeping with them, they not racist. Thomas Jefferson slept with a whole plantation full of black women. What the hell are you talking about? Racism, domination of opportunity, domination of resources, domination of privileges. That's all racism is. But we so thirsty for white validation. We let people come amongst us and play with our feelings and emotions. Act all black all day. Act all black all night. But go home to their white suburb. And then you let your religion blind you from seeing objectively your reality. Religion has been racism's greatest accomplice against black folks. All the religions, I don't give a damn what you belong to, but ain't none of them helped us. The job of religion in the black community is to psychologically disarm blacks so they don't see the enemy when he shows up. You don't see color, but if you don't see color, you don't see racism. If you don't see color, you don't see what they're doing to your children. Sacramento City, United School District, y'all have the highest black boy suspension and expulsion rate in the entire state of California. And you run around sleeping with the same white girl suspending our damn sons every day. They call Sacramento the black boy suspension capital of America. It ain't but 12 of us here. And half y'all don't want to be black. You are pretending. We the only people I know of when we find out we got 5 drops of somebody else's blood, we forget being black and we become full-time that. White person find out they got a drop of Nigerian, they don't become Nigerian. You find out you got a little bit of Cherokee or Choctaw, you done lost your damn mind. Took off the dashiki, put on the tomahawk. Talking about your ancestors don't come from Africa, you look just like Shaka Zulu. Sit your ass down, pretendian, fake ass Indian. You got 4 grandparents, 8 great-grandparents, 16 great-great-grandparents, 32 great-great-great, 64 great-great-great-great, and out of 64 great-great-great-great, you got 1 or 2 natives. And now you no longer African. Go somewhere with that crap. And guess what? The same pretendians who said their ancestors don't come from Africa, when they start giving out reparations checks, they're going to take off the tomahawk and put the dashiki back on. See, I don't travel to be your friend. I travel to wake you up. I travel to piss you off. I have to create a little bit of cognitive dissonance so you'll rethink your reality. That's my job. Somebody sent me an email, Dr. Umar, can you be a little nicer? You're so raw. Now in 7 weeks, y'all got an election coming up, Sacramento. May 5th, 2024. May is election, am I wrong? March, thank you, Queen. March 5th, 7 weeks. And your city council people in District 2, 4, 6, and 8, you got to vote them. So my question for you is, where is the Central Committee for the survival and success of Black Sacramento? Because guess what? Don't tell me y'all just going to run out there. Is he Democrat or Republican? He's a Democrat. So half y'all just going to vote for him because Kamala Harris said do it.
Right, say it again.
First of all, we have to non-align ourselves with the Republicans and the Democrats. I don't know how black people got involved in a white people's tug of war for political power.
Hello.
The Democrats ain't done nothing for black folks. The Republicans ain't done nothing for black folks. So you don't align yourself with white interests. You're supposed to be non-aligned, and you meet with both candidates and you say, this is the black agenda. How many of these bullet points can you carry out? And based on who gives you the most concession for your vote, we all vote in that direction. That's how it's supposed to work. So I'm going to ask my question again. Who is meeting with Daryl? Because y'all quiet as ish. Y'all got 7 weeks and y'all ain't met with the mayor? And who's running against the mayor? Did we sit with them too? You ain't got time to be loyal to people who don't care about you. We should have been met with him. Y'all got 7 weeks. Y'all need to get a committee together. But let me tell you why y'all not going to do it. Number one, black people scared of white folks. And you know the second reason? You might not be a gatekeeper, but you sleeping with one, work with one, or you good friends with one. See, you can't control Negroes without Negro participation. So I know Sacramento has an army of boot-licking gatekeepers, because that's the only way white power can survive. And some of y'all only came here tonight to see if I say anything about your gatekeeper so you can report back. We're the only people who will sell out the whole race for a meaningless friendship. Gatekeepers. Gatekeepers are the watchdogs for the white power structure. You can't even get to Daryl because you got to go through Randy. You don't even get to Snow Bunny Police Chief Kathy, what's her last name? Lester. Now, of the 1,170 police and staff on Sacramento City Police Force, 1,170 staff on your police force, black people are about 5%. But you're 12.5 of the city, so why are you underrepresented on your police force that is notorious for racial profiling, notorious for brutality? You saw what they did to Stephen Clark 2018. 8 bullets, 6 in the back, and a year later, your district attorney said the police acted justifiably. And y'all didn't do nothing but go back to the plantation. You care more about your job than freedom. We care more about your job than our children. They said black children in Sacramento got a 28% chronic absence problem. Well, guess what? Y'all will blame the children because y'all been trained. I'm looking at the system because what you call a dropout rate, speaking as a former principal and the best school psychologist in American history, it's not a dropout problem. It's a push-out problem. Our kids get pushed out by these white racist female teachers. I'm telling you what I know, but y'all scared of the teachers union too. Y'all scared of everybody white. And then y'all have a black, your superintendent is black, right? Black male? Am I correct? Y'all don't even know the stats. Somebody get me a bull whip and a whipping post. 1,000 lashes for every Negro in here. But anyway, he said they can't find no black teachers. Y'all got a black teacher shortage. Sacramento and throughout California. Y'all have one of the lowest black teacher rates in the country. And you know how I got that way? We allow white folks to redefine us away from being black or American African to being people of color. And when you let them define you as people of color or minorities, they lump you in with the brown, reds, yellows, and poor whites. And so when you say how many teachers we got, they say, well, we got 10% minority. But how many of them are black? See, when we let them redefine us in with all other non-white people, we set ourselves up because the other non-white people can't stand you as much as the white people. Oh! Why you think the George Floyd Act still ain't passed Congress yet?
Hello. Talk about it, Doc.
3 years ago, we marched everywhere you turn on the TV. We was marching. And people called me up. Dr. Umar, you was in South Carolina when that white boy shot up the church. Why you ain't in Minneapolis? I said, I'm going to tell you why I'm not in Minneapolis. Number one, this ain't a black people's movement. According to the Pew Research Center, only 1 in 5 protesters was black. How we marching against police brutality and 4 out of every 5 protesters is something other than African? You don't control the direction. See, what y'all fail to realize in your color blindness, your eternal political retardation, white people outnumber Negroes 5 to 1. So if you let them join anything you do, they can colonize it and redirect it because there's more of them than you. That's not hate. It's self-preservation. But because we are so uncomfortable standing alone, we allowed the George Floyd protest to be completely colonized, and Nancy Pelosi and the Democratic Party turned it into a voting show for Joe Biden. He's the only one who got something out of it, your votes. There was no identified leadership, no identified spokespersons, no clearly articulated agenda for change, and every other Negro who got on a microphone during the George Floyd protest spoke about everybody else's problems except our own. And for my pastors in here, shame on you. I ain't got nothing against Christianity. Jesus was a revolutionary. I got an issue with the black church and how it conducts business and how we have allowed the black church to retreat so far from the front line of fighting. You can't find me a black church nowhere in California, not one of them, that's at the forefront of fighting for better schools for our children. Not one church fighting against gentrification in a real way. Not one church fighting against mass incarceration. Not one dealing with police brutality. And you still going to church for what? The blind leading the blind. The purpose of church is to convince black people that even though you have nothing, you still winning. The purpose of the black church is to make Negroes who ain't got nothing think they got it all. See, we got some spiritual contradictions, not just the Christians, everybody. Because I'm trying to understand how you so holier than thou, but your kids are barely graduating. You holier than thou. Young people can't find no jobs. Holier than thou. No black teachers, few black cops. If you was that damn holy, we would see evidence of it in this community. Because your political struggle is how you prove your spiritual commitment. See, Jesus Christ, by virtue of his spiritual discipline, was automatically a political force. That's right. He took on the white supremacy Romans with 12 cowards by his side. And didn't care, didn't flinch, didn't stop. Ain't not one of you doing that, calling yourself a Christian. Find a new name. Not one of you doing that. Find a new name. And then we as black people keep praying, and we don't understand the science of prayer. So let me give you a little quick word on the science of prayer. 1, you never pray for things God has already given you the ability to solve yourself. Y'all stay praying for stuff you can do. God, please give our children better schools. You don't have to pray for that. You can do that. Black people in America, we $2 trillion people. We the richest group of blacks in the world. What you praying for God for better schools for? Build it. But we ain't got no confidence. The one thing slavery did to us, and everybody in this room who's African suffers from it, including the pretendians, fake ass Indian, is it took from us the natural God-given desire to want to rule your reality. We're the only people in California who have no interest in ruling your reality. Soon when the Chinese show up, they're looking for a place to call their own. Soon when the Mexicans show up, they're looking for a place to call their own. Soon when the Arabs show up, they're looking for a place to call their own. You've been here longer than all of them put together and still ain't got a place to call your own because you're comfortable being powerless. And nobody going to convince me that you believe in God and you comfortable being powerless. Because supreme consciousness is the epitome of power. By the time I'm done tonight, I want to know who's going to go meet with Darryl Steinberg. And who's going to meet with the district city council candidates for 2, 4, 6, and 8. See, you are symptomatic of Black America's dysfunction. Y'all about to choose 5 people in 7 weeks. And we ain't met with nobody. Ain't typed a letter, ain't scheduled a meeting. Why not? Because you've been bullied off the front line of power struggle. Bullied off the front line of power struggle. And then I read Black boys from K to the 3rd grade in Sacramento City. They are suspended out of school, K to 3rd, 9 times more than the non-Black boys. In fact, y'all have the highest preschool to prison pipeline. Preschool. And let me explain that to you. Here's what y'all need to understand about snow bunny classroom racism. White people do not discriminate based on age amongst Black males. Stay with me. It don't matter if your son is 3, 13, 23, or 33. He gets dealt with the same way. Oh, yes. And some of you mothers, I'm pissed off because you letting these snow bunnies convince you and manipulate you into getting your son tested, evaluated, screened. Listen, I'm a school psychologist. Been testing children for 25 years, every color, every class. Did you know that most of the diagnoses we give out cannot be scientifically proven to exist? Let me say this again. See, when you say Dr. Umar, Raekwon got a learning disability. Yeah, I said Raekwon. Because y'all name y'all kids after rappers and shit. Yes, Raekwon. Dr. Umar, Raekwon got dyslexia. How old is he? He's 4. Wait a minute. First of all, Shaquita, can we be honest about a couple things? Before Raekwon showed up in preschool, you never made that little Black boy sit down for 5 minutes ever in a chair at a table. He been dancing and singing songs, wearing fake gold and baby Jordans. And then you take him to We Hate Black Boys Preschool Center. So now Raekwon show up at We Hate Black Boys Preschool Center. Can't sit still for nothing. And you think Mrs. Schwarzenberg gonna put up with Raekwon ass? The first time she tell him to spell his name and he can't, he going to the school psychologist for an IEP. Incarceration education preparation. Listen, rule number 1, don't you ever get your child 7 years old or younger tested for nothing unless it's speech, deafness, blindness, brain injury, orthopedic impairment, traumatic brain injury, or a health impairment. You don't get 4, 5, and 6-year-olds tested for learning disabilities, ADHDs, intellectual disabilities, and you better be careful with autism too. Because although autism is real, it is misdiagnosed amongst black boys. How you know he autistic? This might just be a speech problem. How you know he autistic? It might just be a hearing problem. How you know he autistic? It could be an emotional trauma problem. How you know he autistic? It could be selective mutism. How you know he autistic? It could be social anxiety. I can't tell you how many black boys I reevaluated at 9, 10, and 11 who've been called autistic since 3, 4, and 5 who never was. But you know what the problem is now? You stuck Raekwon in a classroom with children who are autistic. So he learned through observation how to act autistic. And so now you think he is because he's imitating the children who are. Now, let me tell you why Sacramento public schools want you to hurry up and get them tested. You know why? Because special ed is a business. Special ed is a racket. Special ed is the hustle of making money off black boys whose parents didn't prepare them for public school. See, the special ed kids are worth twice as much as the regular kids. Oh, yes. Every time I evaluate your child and put their name in the computer, it goes to the State Department of Education, which is here. So your house, this is the house. No wonder y'all was quiet when I mentioned it. No wonder why y'all was so quiet. This is the damn house. I'm in the damn house with the house slave. I knew something was wrong.
You're in the right spot. Yeah.
Is we sick, master? We sick. I knew something was up. I said, who met with the mayor? Ain't nobody see shit. This is the damn big house. Anybody got some chitlins, gourmet chitlins? So listen, when I evaluate the kid, the name goes to the State Department of Education, Sacramento. It's for every school district in California. By the end of the month, there's an electronic transfer of funds to your child's school district in the name of his special ed discipline. So, if I am the principal of We Hate Black Boys Elementary School in Sacramento, and I got 10 black boys who can't read, they're in the 4th grade. I know why they can't read. Didn't go to preschool. Parents don't care about nothing but Jordans, chicken wings, and fake hair. I said it! I know my kindergarten teacher didn't teach him nothing because she was just a long-term substitute with no credentials. I know the 1st grade teacher didn't teach him nothing because she could barely read her damn self. 2nd grade Snow Bunny didn't teach him nothing because she went on maternity leave in November and he had 25 substitutes from November to June. Y'all see how this works? See, Raekwon don't have a learning disability. Raekwon has a skills deficiency created by the school itself. But see, when they call y'all into the office, y'all go in there with your house Negro consciousness. And y'all start letting the white folks dictate to you what they're going to do with your child. You're supposed to push back. You're supposed to let them know. Federal law states you cannot put a child in special ed if the reason for the academic deficiency is due to poor instruction or other learning deprivations. That's the law. Half y'all kids wouldn't be in special ed if you knew the law, but you don't. Or you say dumb stuff like Dr. Umar, I'm just going to put him in special ed till he catch up. Who the hell catches up? Oh, he going to catch up to prison? Because every time I go speak at a jail, I always ask the inmates, black or white, raise your hand if you had an IEP. Every hand go up in the prison. There's a relationship between special ed and future incarceration. So why y'all putting y'all kids in special ed? And you know what's sad? The only thing you really need to do is get them a tutor. That's it. 1 hour, 3 times a week will erase any skills deficiency. But you know why you don't get them a tutor? Because you feel as though since you pay taxes, see, this is the Negro in you. Now, you got a $500 pocketbook. Hello. You got a $120,000 car. Hello. You got a $500 weave. Hello. $200 pair of Jordans. Hello. Come on. An extra tight Balenciaga tee. Shut up! You really needed an extra large. Shut up! But the medium was on sale. Shut up! You say $75 by getting the medium Balenciaga. And won't spend $1 for a tutor. And guess what? If you don't want to spend no money for a tutor, I know we got retired teachers. Any retired teachers in this room right now? Okay, we ain't got none in here, but I'm sure you got retired black teachers. Go to one of the Queen Mothers or one of the Bibles and say, listen, used to be my teacher, my son got reading problems. Could you help him out? They'll probably do it for free. But no, you'd rather do the IEP. And do you know why Miss Slaughtenberger wanted him? You know why? It ain't because he got a learning problem. That white woman know Raekwon, the smartest kid in the class. So why she recommended him for special ed? Because his ass can't sit still. And see, white people have this thing with black folks. They have a post-traumatic slave master disorder. Where if you control, the minute Raekwon don't sit, when she say sit, she want him out. He not in special ed because he can't learn how to read. He in special ed because you never taught him to sit still. Special ed is a trash can you dump the black boys in so they're old enough to go to jail or drop out. Oh, damn, special ed. And then y'all put them in special ed and y'all don't even go to the IEP meetings. Y'all don't even go to the IEP meetings. Why would you sign him up for an academic lynching? And you're not even there to supervise the process. That's why when I talk to your high school students, I say, hey, young man, young lady, you know you can go to your own IEP meeting once you're 15. Your mom and dad too lazy to come advocate for you, you can advocate for yourself and sign your own paperwork. But the young kids can't do that. They need y'all. Stop signing them up if you ain't gonna look out for them. Half them boys in there for behavior. Ain't nothing wrong with them. And y'all better stop letting them force y'all to put them on medication.
Talk about it.
Y'all better stop the Ritalin, Adderall, Concerta, Cyclert, Metadate, crack. It's all crack. Synthesized cocaine. You mean to tell me the same drugs that sent his daddy to jail?
Come on.
His daddy doing 20 years on a bag of crack. And you mean to tell me you let them take the same crack that locked up Big John John? They called it Ritalin, Metadate, Cycler, Adderall, gave it to Little John John. So he can sit still long enough to learn about Helen Keller, Anne Frank, and Christopher Columbus.
Thank you. Come on.
Public education is the only industry in America where the customer gets blamed for not getting what they came for. When you get the brakes put on your car, if your car's still squeaking, do you blame the car? You go back to the car shop. If you go get some bread and the bread molded, do you blame the bread? No. You take the bread back to where it's at. I thought she was coming up to tell me to stop talking to my white folks. Well, listen. Shut up! But when our kids go to school to learn how to count and can't count, we blame them. Go to school, learn how to read, can't read, we blame them. This is how the white women set it up. The teachers' unions. And the reason why your mayor ain't gonna never do nothing about the school. Your council people ain't gonna never do nothing about the school. Your state rep, your U.S. rep, your state senator, none of them from California to Pennsylvania. Never gonna do nothing about the schools. You wanna know why? And they never gonna do nothing about the police either. You wanna know why? Who are the two largest, most powerful unions in America? Teachers and police. You ain't becoming no governor without the teachers and police. You ain't becoming no mayor without no teachers and no police. You ain't becoming no U.S. congressperson without the white teachers and the white police. They run the politicians. That's the consolidation of white power. And if we want to change it, we got to consolidate black power. The most honorable Marcus Messiah Garvey said, we are not in the condition we are in because we are black. We are in the condition we are in because we are disorganized. Yeah, the Chinese about to take over the planet because they more organized than the Caucasians. They buying up everything. I'm in Jamaica, they damn near own it. I'm in Barbados, they damn near own it. I'm in South Africa, they damn near own it. Everywhere I go, I see East Indians and Chinese running all the economics for blacks. I've been everywhere in the world except Australia, where I'll be in the spring. And guess what? Nowhere I've been, even in Africa, are we in charge of a black economy. We're not in charge of our money in Sacramento. We're not in charge of our money in Ghana. We're not in charge of our money in Paris, Toronto, New York City. Nowhere on earth are black people in charge of their money. This is a global thing. And the sad thing is you the leaders. Because black people all around the world, they look to us for leadership. That should be a good thing, but it's a horrible thing because you ain't thinking about leading nobody nowhere. You just want to have fun. They did a research study on black folks. They said black people are unique in America because these are the only people who buy stuff, not because they need it, but because it makes you feel better and look better. The poorest people look the richest, and the richest people look the poorest. Y'all just got finished Christmas shopping. How many of y'all put some books under the Christmas tree? Half y'all lying, put your hands down. No damn books under that tree. There was Weaves and Jordans. You know damn well wasn't no dictionary under there. If it was, you got it from the dollar store. Wasn't no thesaurus under that Christmas tree. Wasn't no encyclopedia A through Z under that Christmas tree. No, it wasn't. It was video games. You see what China did about the video games, right? China said nationwide. See, the Chinese don't play. They trying to take over the planet. They ain't playing. In China, no Chinese child can play more than 3 hours of video game per week. This is what China doing because they getting ready for the takeover. We not even thinking about no takeover. Chinese said, we getting ready for global conquest. We getting ready for political economic domination. So you ain't got time for no damn video games, Instagram, TikTok, and Snapchat. In fact, in China, there's no social media. They have their own. When I was in China, I had to get a VPN code to break through the internet if I wanted to see my Instagram. American social media don't exist in China. They not playing. They preparing them kids to run the earth. And what you getting John ready for? Basketball practice. Goofy ass blacks. Football practice. Shaquita volleyball practice. He can't even read. But he had football. And for the life of me, how your child got a video game unit in your house? And he fell in half his classes. How you got time for video games and social media and you can barely read a count? That's because y'all raising slaves. Can I ask you a question? America outlawed the importation of Africans in 1808. 1807 took effect 1808. Slavery doesn't end until 1865. So for the next 57 years, how did America get slaves if they outlawed the importation? They went to a breeding system. They would get 12 black women, 1 black man, and his job was to keep somebody pregnant every day of the year. We were literally breeding babies for the plantation. Well, guess what, sisters? Some of your homes are breeding farms for the prison and for the cemetery. Oh, yes. You raising black children with no purpose? That's a slave breeder. Yes, let's keep it a buck. You are an NFL, NBA, U.S. military, penal institution breeding farm. You still breeding black boys to be exploited by white corporate America, just like the plantation. And you black men, I'm not against your son wanting to be an athlete, but I'm against you forcing him to be an athlete. And we got too many black fathers who are forcing their sons to rescue your low self-esteem because you failed in your professional sports ambitions. I got black boys coming to me, Dr. Umar, can you talk to my father for what? Because I'm 6'6", he think I need to play basketball. I don't like sports. I want to be an engineer. I don't like sports. So I got to go to his father, check the father, because the father wants to force his ego ambitions on his son. You had your life. You didn't make it. And if I was in charge, there would be a moratorium on black men going to the NFL and the NBA anyway. Because the only people winning from black men going pro are the snow bunnies. Everybody marrying a white girl. Joel Embiid, you from Cameroon. How the hell you end up with a bunny? Everybody got a... Did you see the NBA draft last year? 99% of every young man who got drafted into the NBA had a white mother. They brought them on stage. Damn, everybody had a white mother. Now, don't get me wrong. A mixed race African is still considered African for me, as long as they identify. The key word is identify. Because see, some of y'all will be half black and you like to play the fence. You want to be black at the Dr. Umar lecture, but when you go see your Jewish grandmother in the suburbs, you white as shit. Not a tang of slang nowhere in your tongue. You know what I'm talking about. You ever see them mixed race Africans? They be black in the hood. Catch them in the suburbs, they don't even speak to you. You got to be full-time black for me to... And that ain't just for the mixed race. That's for you full. That's for you 25% pretendy and 75% Africans. Supreme Court Justice Clarence Thomas is biologically black. When you get a minute, make sure you go to YouTube and watch the Clarence Thomas CNN documentary. You saw it. You see why he hate black people. Clarence Thomas used to be a Black Panther. Did y'all know that? Uncle Tom was a Panther. Yes! Watch the documentary. But guess what happened? As he went through life, he was picked on by black people, called dark and ugly and all of that. So he developed a reaction to us. And now he hates us. You know who else I think got a reaction? Although I don't know her whole story. I think Oprah Winfrey has a hatred for blacks, because you're gonna have to explain to me why she underpaid Taraji and Fantasia on that damn Color Purple reboot that we did not need. I thought Harpo died. We don't need to see that again. What's going on?
Yeah. The people in the overflow room can't hear you when you move your mic.
Okay.
Okay, so they want you to use the stationary mic so they can hear every word you say.
Okay, so let me get this right.
Yeah, the overflow.
This is the house, and we got a plantation room. So why don't we just invite the plantation slaves into the house? And let's have a party. Go get them. Come on in, plantation slaves. Why are you leaving them out on the field for? But Queen Mother, you said this mic? Which mic?
No, they won't use that. Hit the standing mic. Use them both.
Right.
Y'all had a whole room full of house slaves and they say a word. Test, 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 test. Leave it on. Don't use them both. The mayor might hear me. I should be able to lift this up though, right?
They don't want you to take it out.
They don't want me to take it out. Why?
Because if you move when you're talking, they can't hear you.
But it's cordless.
Yeah, but the other ones, they want you to stand there and talk.
Master said so.
I'm so sorry, Master. Sacramento! Where my single black women at? Single black women? One right there. 2, 3. Queen mothers got their hand up. Stop being fresh!
Business before the bedroom.
Business before the bedroom. Politics over punani. Revolution over romance. We got to do the work first. Black women in Sacramento, y'all need to get together and form a Black Sisters Union. And y'all gonna tell the brothers, listen, ain't no more honey dip for the Shango stick. If we don't get no schools, banks, hospitals, supermarkets, jobs, and a crime reduction. Y'all got to use your feminine energy to make brothers work. Y'all don't make us work. That's why we don't get nothing done. Y'all sexing men who ain't doing no work. Have a strike. Have a hospital in 2 weeks. I had an ADHD moment, but let me go back to the medications. Let me go back to the medications. The reason why you don't want your son taking meds, it kills his brain cells, stun his growth, early balding, heart problems, liver, kidney dysfunction, schizophrenia, tic disorders, psychosis, nightmares, overweight, loss of weight, can't sleep, can't wake up. And it also causes them to grow breasts, and it also interrupts the natural hormonic system necessary for him to produce healthy semen when he's old enough to reproduce. A lot of your sons won't be able to have children because you had them on ADHD meds. In Sacramento, we don't have an ADHD, attention deficit hyperactivity disorder problem. We have an ain't no daddy at home disorder problem. Come on in, y'all. There's room. Come on in. Y'all ain't got to stay out. Come sit on somebody's lap. Come on. Say that again. Oh, we reached the capacity. The overseer. Damn. She said the overseer. What? She said the overseer said it's too many. Well, shut this. Bring it up. I mean, yeah, I think I'm straight. I want to make sure they get head back out there.
It's fire hazard.
Good excuse. I'll feel you, Mom. I'll feel you. The fire chief. That's just a cold word for.
Too many black folks.
Because if this was a room full of Latinos, wouldn't nobody be worried about no damn fire code. Listen to me. If you let them medicate your son, and you decide to stop medicating your son, Child Protective Services can charge you with medical neglect. And they can legally confiscate all the children from your home. I know parents right now who do not have their children. They've been confiscated. I told them, do not get them tested. Well, the teacher just wanted to see. Well, let me explain something to you about an ADHD evaluation, conduct disorder evaluation, ODD evaluation. Do you know there's no test that diagnoses your child? I need y'all to understand. He got tested for ADHD. No, he didn't. Because we make a diagnosis of ADHD through observation. We make a diagnosis of autism through observation. We make a diagnosis of conduct disorder through observation. There's no test for that. So if you take them for the eval, they're going to get the label because everybody's going to get paid. Mental health in the black community is a financial racket. The social worker get paid, the therapist get paid, the wraparound get paid, the one-on-one aid get paid, the behavior specialists get paid, psychiatrists get paid, psychologists get paid. It's a hustle. Your child been getting wraparound behavioral health support in Sacramento since he was 5. He 15. He crazier now. He crazier now than he was when you first signed him up. Because white folks ain't helping no black children when it comes to they can't help. How the people who caused your problems going to solve them too?
Thank you. Thank you.
And why y'all keep taking black kids to white people talking about what's wrong with him?
Hello. That's another one.
What's wrong with y'all? And then half y'all be getting them tested for special ed problems that you know are really home life problems. See, the reason your 12-year-old daughter so angry and combative, it ain't conduct disorder, it ain't emotional disturbance, it ain't ODD. The girl is angry because she's a victim of sexual molestation. And you don't want to address it. And the school don't know about it, so you letting them pass it off as a learning disability. How about the reason your son ain't going to school or beating kids up or smoking weed ain't a conduct disorder, it ain't an emotional disturbance. His daddy got locked up and his mama never takes him to go see his father. Stop blaming family problems on learning disabilities. I'm tired of it. Stop it. Frederick Douglass taught himself how to read. No special ed teacher, no IEP. Under the threat of death. Here you are 200 years later, and your child can't read with special help when we got ancestors who taught themselves while they were on the run. Stop making excuses for academic underachievement. We got to get back to black excellence.
Yes. That's it.
I'm tired of the black community worshiping rappers and athletes who do nothing for it. Cut it out! And if they confiscate your children because you refuse to get them medicated, they're going to give them to the LGBTQ Caucasians. You don't have to believe me. Do your own research. LGBTQ Caucasians are disproportionately more likely to end up with black foster care children. I know because I work with the kids. In fact, if any of you are interested, you can join me in Bunell, Florida, the last day of this month. Wednesday, January the 31st, in the name of one of my organizations, the National Movement to Save Black Boys, I'm going to be holding a protest rally outside the Kim C. Hammond Justice Center in Bunell, Florida, 1 hour from Jacksonville. We're flying into Jacksonville, and we're going to drive on down. You know why? Because there was a 17-year-old black boy named Brendan Depper, who on the day Malcolm X was assassinated, February 21st of 2023, beat up his white teacher assistant. He's been in jail since February 21st, 2023. They recertified him as an adult. His white lawyer urged him to plead guilty. And he's going to be sentenced on January the 31st, and he can serve 30 years in jail. It gets worse. How many of you remember A.J. Owens, the black mother in Florida who was shot dead by an old white woman through a locked metal door a couple years ago when she came to retrieve her son's skates or iPad? Y'all remember? White woman shot her through a locked metal door. She's also in custody. And guess what the maximum she can get? 30 years. Can somebody answer me? How can a boy who punched a teacher's assistant go to jail for the same maximum amount of time as a white woman who took out a pistol and shot a mother in front of her kids through a locked metal door? It gets worse. There were 2 white children in the same high school with Brendan Depper who also beat up their teachers. Didn't spend 1 day in jail. It gets worse. The video game that the teacher confiscated from Brendan on February 21st that led to the incident was a Nintendo Switch. Guess who asked for the video game to be brought into the school? The teacher did. To use it as a reward for Brendan. If they never asked for the damn video game, situation would have never happened. Can we go a little bit further? The lawyer originally said that Brendan was mentally incompetent to stand trial. The judge had 2 white psychologists, quote unquote, evaluate Brendan and deem him competent to stand trial. So let me ask y'all a question. If you diagnosed with post-traumatic stress disorder, if you diagnosed with intermittent explosive disorder, if you diagnosed with conduct disorder, if you diagnosed with ADHD, if you diagnosed with anxiety disorder, and if you diagnosed with autism, do you think that child is competent to stand trial? That's why we're going down there. This is absolutely insane. Absolutely insane. And you know what's the saddest part about this from a special ed law perspective? Given the nature of his disabilities and the severity of them, especially PTSD, he should have never been in the school. He should have been in a partial hospitalization program or a full-time school for children with emotional disturbance. You know why he was sitting in that school? Because they didn't want to pay the damn money. And guess what the white woman said who he hit? And don't get me wrong, no woman should be attacked whether she a bunny or not. But the white woman said she don't care if he never get out of jail. I guess so, because she done raised about $100,000 on GoFundMe. See how this works? She getting paid. Snow bunny victimization works every time. You see what the white girl said to Jonathan Major? I got a cut on the back of my ear. What the fuck? What? He got convicted because you had a scratch on the back of your ear and a cut on her pinky? And I'm mad at Jonathan Majors. Not just because he went bunny hopping. She wasn't even cute. And when he said Coretta, what he said, Coretta and Winnie or Coretta and Betty? Coretta and who's the? Because Coretta, she was gorgeous. Betty Shabazz, gorgeous. Winnie Mandela, gorgeous. Ida B. Wells, gorgeous. She ain't look nothing like them. She ain't had no shape, no hips. 5'5" thicker than thighs. We got to get our economics together. Y'all need to come up with a project for Black Sacramento where we take a lot of our disposable income. You're going to have to sacrifice and create a major institution for the people. So whether that's going to be a grocery store, whether that's going to be a clinic, whether that's going to be a school, whether that's going to be a bank. Y'all really need a credit union. You know you can start a credit union with less than $200,000. Y'all need to start a Black Sacramento credit union. Because guess what? We're never going to get the financing from the white banks. That's how they keep us on the bottom. Because we can't access the capital. And unfortunately, our black billionaires ain't thinking about helping us in power. All they want to do is do what the white people do and sit around and say, I got more than y'all. Right? But y'all need to start a credit union because if all of you had your money in that credit union, we don't need no donations. We can take the interest from your deposits and build a Black Wall Street to go with this Black Wall Street we're in right now for the city of Black Sacramento. We need that because the problem is everybody in this room has a business idea that might make you rich. But if you can't access the capital, some of y'all got ideas for computers. You got ideas for cars. You got ideas for all kind of electric gadgets. You got clothing ideas, food ideas. We are brilliant people. They know that. That's why they don't finance you. See, you have an idea that'll put Walmart out of business. You have an idea that'll put Apple out of business. You have an idea that'll put Mercedes-Benz out of business. You have an idea that'll put Gucci and Louis and Balenciaga, even the extra medium one, out of business. But guess what? If you can never get the line of credit, you can't win. They're getting us through two things that we need to start focusing on in 2024. The banks and the courts. Two lynchings that are happening to black people every day that we ignore. judicial lynchings and economic lynchings. We can't access the money, and these damn judges in Sacramento is giving out too much time to black people for petty crime. We should be so organized that every time a black person got to go in front of the judge, we got a whole army there. Nobody should get sentenced alone. The whole community should be in there to make the judge think twice. Oh, you could give him a minimum of probation and a maximum of 30. I think you better lean more towards the probation. Come on, y'all. We got to start showing up. Y'all keep thinking you're going to be the Negro who escaped the plan. Nobody's escaping white supremacy. Even you house Negroes. And I know it's some of you in here. Raise your hand if you got a white wife. Be honest. I'm sorry. Not wife. That is too formal. Baby mama. Oh, crusty Joanne. Yeah! Ashy Ashley. Yeah! Baked potatoes and custard greens. Yeah! Beef stroganoff. Nuts and beer. Shut up! You know what somebody told me the other day? This brother rolled up on me. He said, Doc, I got a white baby mom. I got to ask you a question. I said, what's up? He said, don't you think it's offensive to call a white woman a snow bunny? I said, what? Do you know what they've been calling us? And do you know what they've been doing to us? You worried about some damn word? When they out here lynching and killing and castrating and... Please! I want to thank those of you who have donated to the Frederick Douglass Marcus Garvey Academy. I get a lot of donations from California, even get a few from the plantation in Sacramento. But consider Wilmington. We're going to teach our children financial and economic science. If you are an investor or a banker and you would like to come and teach it, even if you're just volunteering and say, Doc, I can give you 1 day a month. We can work you in. We're going to teach agricultural and agronomical science. You say, Doc, I'm a gardener. I don't need a job. I'm self-employed, but I want to come and teach them how to grow food the right way. We're going to teach them dietary and nutritional science. For those of y'all who want to teach them how to cook and eat properly. There will also be spiritual and astrological science. The spiritual system of the school will be Ifa, the Yoruba spiritual system. Your child does not have to practice African spirituality, but he must learn it. Because I know you think, Christianity is older and Islam, but that is only 2,000 years old. We've been dealing with God for millions of years. And nothing's wrong with those religions, but we want to give them that old time religion. We're also going to teach them the science of the black man, woman, and child. Every child will learn 2 African languages. And we have 2 schools, by the way. We have the Marcus Garvey Elementary. That's what we're working on now. All the renovations are done. We just got a couple small things we got to do. And then the Frederick Douglass High School is right across the street. Once both buildings are fully functional, we'll be the largest independent black school campus in the United States. Yes. And the reason I'm so excited, brothers and sisters, is not only for the school for our children because they need it, but also we will have a place to meet that's large enough to accommodate a lot of us and don't have to worry about being too loud or getting the lights turned off. You understand? So it'll be a school by day, but on the weekends and the evening, it's the Black Community Central Headquarters for organizing. We will be having the Black Women's Conference. We will be having the Midwife and Doula Conference. We have any midwives and doulas in here? It's the plantation. Y'all don't deliver, baby. Y'all just cook for the masses. Good. Because what we're going to be doing this year is we're going to be organizing the Black doulas and midwives into a conference. And then we're going to organize them to make sure every black woman in America knows exactly where the doulas and midwives are. So when it's time to give birth, rather than go to the hospital, you can have the baby in your home or at a birthing center. Because I don't know if y'all know, black women in America have the highest matricide rate. They killing you on the delivery table. Too many black mothers are dying having their children who are otherwise healthy. And not only are they killing the mothers, they're killing the babies. We have the highest infant mortality rate at the time of delivery in the developed world. So black women have been having babies for 1 million years. And soon when you get around white folks, you can't do it right. Something's wrong with that. They're killing us on purpose, brothers and sisters. And they really doing it now because in so many states, now that they outlawed abortion, you no longer have a federal protection. They're going to overtime on killing the black babies. Because you know the reason that they overturned Roe versus Wade is 25 of America's 50 states have a zero white population growth. White people are dying more, and I'm not wishing nothing on nobody, but white people are dying more than being born in half the states in this country. So in order to try to normalize their numbers, they had to overturn Roe versus Wade. And guess what else they're going to end up having a backlash against? No. The transgenderization movement of our kids. Because white people's population is being hit hard by the intentional pushing of same-sex relationships and transgender surgeries amongst the children. Okay? Now, I'm not talking about your sexual preference. I'm not going to do that because I don't want to get nobody in trouble here. But I think we can all agree, whether you are gay or straight, that 5, 6, and 7-year-old children have no business learning about sex, gay or straight. That's the problem I got. Can I ask you a question? Children don't start developing the lust for intimacy until they go through pre-puberty. That's normally around 11, 12. So no kid is thinking about sex unless you put it in their head before their body starts preparing to create child. So if you don't go through puberty, pre-puberty until 11, why are they telling 5-year-olds about gay sex? Why are they telling 6-year-olds about transgender science? This is not advocacy or protection. They are indoctrinating our children for black population extermination. Listen, Dwayne Wade's son. I'm not going to pick on my little brother because it ain't his fault. It ain't his fault. But here's my question for Dwayne. You said he had his cheeks baked? What you listen. Listen! Stop! 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 Listen! 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 When Zion, you said Gabrielle clapped Dwayne cheeks? Shut up! Stop! We in the house! Listen, y'all gonna all end up in the field, y'all don't stop. Listen, I agree. She having fun with it. Don't even realize. Here's the point. When that boy turns 25, he goes through a spiritual epiphany. He says, you know what? I want to go back to being a man. This ain't what I'm... You know what the problem is? When he laid on the surgical table to get the sexual reassignment surgery, they took his testicles. I need y'all to know this. They don't tuck them away. They remove them. So when Zaire decides he wants to have children, he won't be able to. Same thing with your daughter. And y'all need to know this in California because you're the only state right now that has legalized sexual reassignment surgery under 18. So you can get your child neutered and clipped in California before their 18th birthday. Make sure you tell your daughter, if you lay on that table and they take your ovaries, you cannot get them back. So can black people explain to me why we got black parents who are letting their children castrate themselves?
Hello.
And they not even 18 years old. And we, listen, y'all need to find a vacant school in Sacramento. Okay, who's looking a lot? Master said we gotta leave. Go back to the slave quarters. Listen. We need to find one of these empty school buildings in Sacramento so I can come help y'all open up a Frederick Douglass Marcus Garvey Sacramento campus. That's what we need. That's what we need, brothers and sisters. Because they are working on our children in overdrive. Have you seen the commercials?
Yes. Oh my goodness.
All the commercials are same sex or opposite race. All the shows, same sex, opposite race. There ain't no more Good Times. There ain't no more Jeffersons. Ain't no more Cosby shows. They not doing this for y'all. They doing it for your children. They're being socially programmed against black on black heterosexual love. America doesn't want to see any more black on black heterosexual love. And to that point, we got to stop arguing with each other. I'm sick and tired of black men and black women tearing each other down on YouTube. Damn YouTubians. Black man, I don't care how angry you get with the black woman. Don't you ever get on the internet and tell the world you have no respect for your woman. Don't you ever get on the internet and tell the world you don't value your women, because our daughters are watching it. Our sons are watching it. And you're doing it at a time when black women are being sexually trafficked against their will. They are kidnapping our sisters and girls and selling them on the underground sex market. And guess what, y'all? Sex trafficking of black women and girls has quadrupled since COVID. And one of the biggest reasons why sex trafficking of black girls and women has quadrupled since COVID is because of the FBI and CIA oversight of the illegal drug trade. A lot of the drug dealers ain't selling crack, they selling your child. Sex trafficking is the new drug. One black girl sexually trafficked for 12 months can yield a minimum of $250,000. 4 black girls, you're a millionaire. What if you got 400 of them tucked away somewhere in a tractor trailer in Sacramento? And by the way, California is the #1 sex trafficking state in the country and one of the top in the world. You better know where your daughter is right now. When your daughter leave your house, this is what you tell her. Give her a sheet of paper. I'm sorry, they gave me a note. I didn't look at it. Please walk over to the overflow room if you can. Right now? At the end. Okay. Somebody go tell the field slaves Nat Turner need them in the house. It's time to get started. Listen. I was born on the day the Nat Turner Award started, August 21st. Where was I? I had an ADHD moment. Oh, you give your daughter a piece of paper. That's what you tell her. I don't care how many names, numbers, and addresses you put on here. It could be 1, it could be 100. But if I need to talk to you, I better be able to get you at one of these numbers or pull up the one of these addresses. Because the first time you ain't accounted for on this sheet, your ass ain't going back out no more. Some of y'all don't know your daughter's boyfriend. You don't know your daughter's best friend. You've never met her friend's. How do you know your daughter's best friend's father isn't a pedophile? How do you know your daughter's best friend's mother isn't a sex trafficker? You can't let your kids do what they want in California. Boys too. Although it's mostly girls and women, they do sell the boys. And the reason they sell the boys is because in some of the satanic circles, as well as in the higher elitist Caucasian secret societies, sodomy of boys is a necessary part of the ritual, because they believe sex with young virgin boys helps them live longer. That was one of the rationales for the Epstein Island. It wasn't just pedophilia, it was ritual to live long. And you got two of the oldest presidential candidates of all time about to run again. Oh, crusty asses. It's like 81 running again. That's all. That's the best person y'all got. Anyhow, please be careful. Fathers, be in your daughters' lives. The number one risk factor is thirstiness for her dad. And guess what? The average age of a male sex trafficker is 26. The women, 25. Do you know what this means? Most of us, when we think of sex trafficker, we think of old white man, no. These are the boys your thirsty teenage daughter finds attractive. See that? She's 17, but she's dating 24. First, he's going to start with the marijuana. Then he's going to pop the pills. Then he's going to come with something harder. And one day she's going to wake up and she's going to be on a train somewhere or a ship headed to Dubai. And by the way, there is no sex trafficking of black girls without police involvement. You better believe there's police in Sacramento Police Department who are the lookouts. You better believe there's justices in your family court system who are feeding our children to the foster care center because they know they're going to end up on.
What a great clip there. I don't want to say much because what Dr. Umar Johnson has said is very true. Whites have always had it easy over the years. Things are working for them. Look at the kind of wealth disparity that exists. A normal white household has almost 10 times as much wealth as that of a normal black household. So this gives you the level of disparity that exists. Look at even education sector. The inner cities where black people live are underfunded. And if you look at the impact of redlining and many other issues like Jim Crow laws, blacks have had something to really block them from having easy time to access opportunities in the United States. And this is not just true for United States. It happens everywhere. Even in Africa, white corporations are controlling major mineral resources in the African continent, and they are continuing to exploit Africa. So until blacks come out and fight for their rights, until blacks come out and know that these people have taken advantage of them for many years, only then can they really make tangible change that can have a paradigm shift on how blacks are respected or even are viewed globally. Tell me down in the comment section what's your opinion. And if you're watching us for the first time, please consider subscribing to the channel, like this video, and share. Thank you, and let's meet on the next one.